Hello YouTube, Heartless Angel here, back with another Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle. Now, today we are bringing back our UU team for another match against Andy here, and I know I say this about a lot of the battles I bring you guys, but that's only because I bring you the best and most intense battles I can, but this is an intense battle. So Andy starts out with his Electros, as I start off with my Rotom Mow. Now, knowing Electrosses are mostly Assault Vest, I decided to go for the Volt Switch. I didn't want to bring in Bulk though, just in case he was running the Giga Drain, and that would more than likely one-shot Bulk, and I do need him for later on in this match, so I decided to actually switch out into the Sun Goku, just in case he predicts me going into Bulk. However, he does go for a knockoff here, probably trying to knock off the whatever item he thought that Rotom was carrying, and he knocks off my Life Orb. I do go for a Nasty Claw here, just wanting to get some my power up in case he was Assault Vest, but he does go for the Volt Switch here to switch out, which does do a fairly good amount of damage here, but the fact that he, as we're going for different moves, he's not choicing anyway, more than likely Assault Vest. He does go into the Noivern here, which completely walls Goku, so I decide to switch out into Excalibur, knowing that I could probably take knowing I can take a Draco Meteor from him, which he does actually go for. I didn't want to switch into Slurpuff, however, just in case he decided to go for Hurricane or something else of that matter, and I didn't want to bring Slurpuff in, besides it is a little too early to set up. So he does reveal he is Life Orb. He does withdraw here, and actually goes out into his Duramitan, which is a huge problem for Excalibur. However, I do go for the Gyro Ball, knowing that it would hurt the Noivern extremely hard, and it does do a decent amount on the Duramitan, making me think that he is perhaps scarfed here with how much damage it did. I do decide to switch out into Bulk here because the Duramitan can't do anything to our Swampert. So he does go for the Flare Blitz, as I predicted, and Bulk eats it up. Bulk eats anything as long as it's not a Grass-type move. Grass-type moves he's allergic to. Anything else, though, he loves to eat. It's like a buffet for him. So we do take the Flare Blitz really well. He does switch out, making me think that he is choice in some way, back into Electros, which pretty much confirms my suspicions that he does have Giga Drain. I do land a Scald off. It doesn't do too much, and that's fine. I'm not planning on staying in on a obvious Giga Drain, so I do decide to switch Bulk out because it is way too early for him to fall, and come back into Mow You Down, knowing that he resists the Giga Drain 4 times. So we do see the Giga Drain, as I had suspected heavily, and we're in a pretty good position here as we go for the Volt Switch, wanting to get out of here because, to be honest, while Mow You Down does counter Electros fairly well, there's not really much it can do to Electros either, especially with an Assault Vest. So I do decide to switch out into Pandora, perhaps predicting him to hard switch out, but he does go for the Volt Switch here, which is not good because that does an insane amount on Pandora. That would have been a 2-hit KO. Maybe if he was going for the Thunderbolt, it may have even killed Pandora. He does go out into his own Absol here, and risking the biscuit, I decide to Mega Evolve Stain and go for the Play Rough. But as I Mega Evolve first, it shows that I am faster than his Absol. Whether it was a speed tie or he's running Adamant instead of Jolly as I am, I'm not sure. But we will outspeed and we will land the Play Rough, and that will be his Absol down, which is great. I was actually kind of worried that he would go for the Sucker Punch, but I'm pretty sure that we could have taken a Sucker Punch, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a risk I was willing to take. He does bring the Noivern back in here, and I am definitely not going to stay on this thing. So I decide to switch out and go into Desert, hoping that he's deciding to go for a Draco Meteor here. But he actually goes for the Hurricane, which really surprised me due to how low Hurricane's accuracy is, and he was risking another Play Rough. He does get the Confusion off as well, which is unfortunate. A Citrus Berry will pop due to the Hurricane bringing us down below half health, and that is really unfortunate. That is, now I unfortunately can't go for the Belly Drum. He does bring out the Hitmontop as he switches out, and gets the Intimidate off, which is really unfortunate. Desert is just not doing well this match, although we do break through the Confusion and land a Play Rough, but it won't do too much due to the attack drop and us being unboosted. To be honest, without Belly Drum, this Slurpuff really doesn't hit that hard. He does decide to switch out, however, and goes into the Empoleon, as I believe I went for another Play Rough here. I did snap out of the confusion, and I did go for another Play Rough, and with the attack drop and Empoleon being a Steel type, that does practically nothing. And he does reveal that he does have the leftovers. Probably running Stealth Rock, Defog, Scald, I'm not too sure. I do go for a Drain Punch here, though, as it will be super effective, and it will give us some of our HP back. I don't want to switch out because then I will lose the Unburdened boost, and unfortunately that is the only thing that's going for us right now. So he does land the Scald. Luckily, no burn. We don't need any more attack reduction than we already do. However, I do go for another Drain Punch, and it doesn't do too much, unfortunately, but we are whittling this Empoleon down little by little, and the more damage we can get off on it, the easier it will be to come back in on and finish off. So he does go for another Scald, and I'm pretty sure we don't live that as I thought. Desert falls, but it didn't do too much this match, but it did help us whittle down the Empoleon, which is the important thing. So with the Empoleon having just under half health, I decided to come back into mow you down, and he does withdraw into Electros, as predicting I would probably go for the Thunderbolt, which I do just to get off as much damage as I can on his Empoleon and his Electros. I do stay in and decide to go for another Thunderbolt, thinking that could probably be a 3-4 hit KO, but unfortunately he does go for the Flamethrower, and mow you down will fall. In hindsight, I should probably have switched, but I didn't. There was honestly nothing I could safely switch on and not have fall, unfortunately, in case he had predicted. Honestly, I thought maybe he would go for the Giga Drain, predicting the switch out into Bulk, but he didn't, unfortunately. So I do bring out Pandora as he switches out and goes out into the Hitmontop. I do go for the knockoff here and trying to get the Assault Vest off the Electros, but as he switched out, we get the leftovers off of the Hitmontop, which is fine by me. I do switch out because we are at a type disadvantage here and our attack has fallen, and I go out into Excalibur, knowing that if he goes for a fighting type move, it will not affect us. He does, however, double out into the Empoleon, and I'm not too concerned about this because we are running Sacred Sword. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last video, but this is a specially defensive Excalibur with Toxic, Protect, Sacred Sword, and Gyro Balls. So he does go for the Scald here, and he doesn't land the burn, thankfully, and we get a Sacred Sword off, and that will do a decent chunk of damage. Almost kills, but just misses the KO, unfortunately. If I ran some more attack EVs, then maybe it would have killed. He does switch out here, however, and goes out into the Noivern, and unfortunately, with that, the Sacred Sword will not do much at all. But there was no reason for me not to go for the Sacred Sword. He does go for the Flamethrower, and surprisingly, that won't kill us. That will leave us with 1 HP, and that is amazing. I'm not sure how exactly, especially considering he's Life Orb, but we get the Gyro Ball off, and the Noivern falls, and Excalibur, you are amazing. I still don't know how we survived the Flamethrower. He does bring in the Duramitan here, though, and I will just stack Excalibur off to a U-turn, which is great because this will give us the Switch initiative here. So Excalibur falls, but he did his job very well, so good job, Excalibur. Duramitan goes out, and we do see that he is going to bring in the Empoleon again, and that's fine by me because I have, with the Empoleon being such low health, I can pretty much come in with anything and finish this Empoleon off. So I do decide to come into Goku, knowing that a Vacuum Wave should be enough to take the Empoleon down, and that is exactly what I do. And Empoleon will fall, giving us one step closer to winning this match. Without Goku's Life Orb, we don't get any recoil, so we are in a very good position here. He will bring the Duramitan in once again, and again, not wanting to sack anything except for Son Goku and get some more damage off, I do decide to go for a Vacuum Wave, hoping it would kill. It just misses the KO, however, and Goku will fall to an Earthquake. However, we are in a great position against this Duramitan because now we can just come into Bulk, which completely walls this thing and just do anything we want. He will switch out, however, and come into the Electros again with the Giga Drain. However, we do go for a Scald. I didn't want to set up anything in case the Electros did come in. And with the Scald, I don't know if the crit mattered or not, especially with the Assault Vest, but we do get a crit and the Electros will fall. We get our Leftovers recovery, and I just have to say Bulk was probably the MVP of this match. And you'll see again why as he brings out the Hitmontop. He does go for the he does get the Intimidate off, which is fine because we won't be going for any Earthquakes anytime soon, just our Scalds. He will go for the Toxic here, which honestly Bulk doesn't really care too much about. We will land a Scald, and that will just be just missed the mark of KOing the Hitmontop, but that is fine because we will be able to take him out with another Scald after. Our health is high enough where the Toxic still isn't bothering us too much. He does go for close combat here though, and it will do an okay amount, but nothing major, so Bulk just does not care. You are a buffet to him, pretty much. He is sponging up all this damage. We get the Scald off, Hitmontop falls, leaving only, I believe, the Duramitan left, which honestly, Bulk, as I said before, completely and utterly walls. We do get our Leftovers recovery, and then the Toxic damage will get off. But the Toxic damage leaves us just above half health, maybe around half, I'm not 100% sure. He will come in with the Duramitan and go for an Earthquake, which Bulk does not care about. He eats it up and brings out his own dish of a nice Scald, and unfortunately for my opponent, his Duramitan will fall, and that will be game as we get another crit. And that was a great match, Andy. Thank you for appearing on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content, and share this video for all of YouTube to see. I would also, just before I go, like to tell you about two Facebook groups I'm a part of, Pokemon Xenos Region and Realm Earthsea, the second of which I am a gym leader on, so be sure to check it out and challenge me if you'd like. Until next time, guys, this is Heartless Angel, signing off.